What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another MKB cast. We just saw the losers finals between KG and VC Velicor, and KG was able to take the win. It was pretty close up through race 10, and on Goldmine they were able to get a pretty big race and seal the deal for them. So they will be playing Ethereal, our MKPS Spring Split winners, in the finals. And to join me casting, as usual, is my good fat pal, Yoshter.
Yeah, I think when you look at Ethereal has kind of claimed the throne, being the #1 team, and then KG definitely a top 5 team, but there's a lot of it's questionable to put like the top 5 teams in exact order. I think Ethereal, Metro Wipeout, and 3 to 5 all kind of mixed. So but KG again showing a dominant performance, making it to finals.
Yeah, should be a pretty close match. If you could take a look at the lineups real quick, we're probably going to be seeing much of the same from KG and Ethereal. And from E's side, we have Crash, who will be watching for, I think, the first bit. We have Crash, Hawk, Jeff, Noctil, and Bobby bagging versus Jake, Havo, Mike, Murra, and Ryu. Same lineup they just used on KG's side. And we'll be switching between Crash and Havo's POV. So we can kind of hear the tracks getting voted on, so we're going to be starting pretty shortly. But really quick, just want to remind everyone that this is TNS format. For those who don't know, that's not exactly like Suicide. It's going to be played a lot like it, but the baggers are allowed to troll with the bullet bill, running into bomb cars, wheelie bumps, item box steals, basically everything that's not a star or a mega and stuff like that.
An interesting one is that you can't run into bomb cars with stars and megas though, but you can run through them normally. It's kind of interesting. But anyways, Maple Treeway again picked. Ethereal tends to pick this one. They're 1-3 to start.
Ethereal, the higher seed and winner bracket winners with the 1-3-5-7 hosting advantage. So they are going to go with this. Usually you see third hopping and cut, but Crash is going to go around the normal route. Pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, usually sometimes you want to get some space and let Jeff kind of breathe a little bit, but Jake are not also hopping in the cut, so trying to contest for first early.
So these spots are pretty much going to hold through this beginning part. Havo running into Jake after he gets hit by back spam, so an early top 2 here for Ethereal.
Oh yeah, but Crash a little bit unaware of the banana, but he's still able to hold on to second at least. And you see Jeff getting that separation early is very important because he's one of the best runners in the game. So
yeah,
getting him into first is huge.
Protecting this top 2 is going to be huge for Noctil and Hawk, because this can be a really dominant race for them if they're able to hold this. But, between Ryu and Bobby, the bagging battle is going to be pretty even, and especially on a track like this where the shock is usually 50-50 for the most part. Maybe one box is going to be taken in 10th, but the bagging battle is going to be pretty even, so might not see that play a huge role unless...
And with TNS format, obviously, I don't think the baggers are going to move, but maybe we'll start to see them move lap 3 if one of them gets to build, because there is a bridge on this track, and builds through bridges. You know, we know how that kind of goes usually. So
we might see these baggers taking a bit more risks here, especially
but we do
later
see them
in the
going
races.
forward now. We see the baby Luigi going forward, therefore maybe indicating that KG has to shock it. They really do need it because Ethereal has a little bit of a top 2 break right now, but we see Murra at least in third. So a good chance we could see a cannon shock here.
Now Bobby has a few options here. He can try to hit it out of Ryu, or he can go for a late build troll and staying in 10th. And it looks like Ryu is able to avoid him, so Ryu is safe with that shock right at that U-turn section.
Yeah,
and you see Crash slowing down with Murra, trying to predict. And it looks like he was maybe able to prevent that shock from happening. And
he gets Murra out, but the KG decides to dodge the bomb spots. And it's a good idea because Havo, having triple reds, realizing he can just red some people out of there. So, you know, I mean, it's going to be a bomb too for Ethereal. And now it'll be interesting to see who gets the bill.
Definitely mix things up. Still a couple of bottom spots for them. Crash with a questionable golden line here.
Yeah, and we see the baby Luigi waiting on the bridge, and he got him off.
He was able to hit someone.
Yeah, he got a KG member off probably there, or at least it was able to connect, and that may shake up some things, but we see Ethereal still 3, 4, 5, so...
Jeff going first. This is going to be a huge race for E right off the bat.
No, I think we saw Jeff die a little bit. I think Jeff got 5th or 6th, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it was a 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I think Ryu got Jeff with that bill on the bridge. So that is right off the bat, we're seeing an example of what this format can do and how it can shake things up, especially late in the race like that. On a tight bridge, Jeff was able to get billed right out of the top spot.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just good recognition of realizing where to be and when you shock. So one thing I noticed lap 2, we saw Bobby try to build the shock out of Ryu. He ended up missing, so he's past the bridge now. So he can't get the bill, or he can't even get shrooms to try to bump someone off there. And Ryu was able to camp around the bridge, and then he was able to get the bill and hit Jeff out first, probably.
Definitely well played by Ryu. Once he avoided Bobby, it was basically just a free shock and then a really, really good chance of getting Bill, which is exactly what happened. Another thing to mention really quick, since this is a double elimination tournament, Ethereal was the winner of the winner's bracket, so they only need to win 1 match to take this home for them. If KG wins, they have to win 2 in a row because, like I said, a double elimination. So definitely an uphill battle for KG, but if they can take this first one, it's anyone's game. But this is a must-win for Kinetolic Gaming.
I guess reviewing how shock was used, I mean, getting Murrah out is fine because you get Crash out as well. But the triple red pull was nice. But, I mean, they got top 2 out of it, so it obviously worked, even though it seemed that Jeff was still first. But that, like I said, I mean, with this format, getting the bill at the bridges, like Donkey Kong Jungle Parkway and Maple Treeway even, it's really hard to avoid the bill there, especially with an experienced bagger that knows how to hit people with the bills, such as Ryu. So KG,
Bobby not really too much trolling training. Hasn't played it too much in his bagging career, so see if he's able to pull off any hits in this war. But I think he's just going to try to trust his runner as best he can. And this is another track with a really small bridge.
Well, yeah, it's just a long straight that's really hard to avoid, and even hard to avoid shrooming in a sense. So again, another track where trolling is potent even without a star.
Yeah. But on a track like this, with, like I said, such a thin bridge and there's no edges and there's no walls on either side of it, a bagger like Ryu, who uses Baby Luigi, is actually going to have a bit of a tougher time using shrooms to push people off, which actually gives the advantage to Bobby a bit there.
You see Havo go for Ultra. Not sure if he made it or not. His name tag didn't pop up, but it doesn't look like he made it actually. So Ethereal is going to hold down the majority of the top spots for now, and Jaker pulling a TC. Not good for KG's situation right here.
Crash holding the star with Bobby in 10th place.
And so right now it looks like Bobby is winning the bagging battle, as you said. But looks like him getting swamped there, and we see the Baby Luigi spinning out too.
We saw a bill get used, so there was a bill getting held while Bobby was taking 10th place boxes. So there is a chance he has it, and Ryu might be chasing him now. So we can probably expect an Ethereal shock, and especially with Crash still holding the star.
See, now if you're Ryu and you know Ethereal has a shock, you got to go back and go to the long straight and try to troll some people off, because KG's not good spots right now, so he needs to do something to at least help out his team here.
Yeah.
Crash
forcing his star because of the POW. Shock not used. We do see Bobby kind of hanging around the ramp, which could be an indicator that he does have shock. So definitely the right play there to hold it, though, with a lot of top spots for Ethereal and bottom 2 for KG.
Looks like Ryu missed with the bill troll, so Ethereal's still going to hold on the top 2 from the looks of things. So it'll be interesting to see if okay, so Ryu doesn't sit on the cut, so cut's probably going to end up being blocked. KG's going to have to body block it, but then again, Ethereal might shock and prevent that from being happening.
Yeah, we're probably going to expect to see Murrah go for Ultra here and then Ethereal TSing them, but it looks like he's just going to go around. And it gets unblocked. And Crash fails it, though. And the shot comes in. And looks like KG still has a ton of bottom spots. And Crash kind of floundering now.
So it looks like the Baby Luigi's going to...
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this last straight.
Yeah, so he's going to go ahead and park. And yeah, I don't know if he's going to hit anyone. So it looks like... Oh, well, someone's spinning out. Oh, another one's spinning out. Maybe a blue shell, perhaps, on the line. We'll see what the results are looking like. Don't really have a clue, honestly.
Yeah, what happened? We do see Murrah up there in maybe 3rd or 4th, so at least a bit of front presence there for KG, but I think Ethereal still got the better of that race. But Crash falling off a few times there at the cut, so we weren't able to see what happened.
Yeah, so it looks like KG went around the shortcut, maybe thinking that if they did unblock, if they just get TS. But I mean,
yeah, it looks like Murrah really good sneak up there.
a really good race for KG considering their circumstances, only losing that race by 1. But it just seemed like Ethereal and maybe was spinning out a little bit due to possibly a blue shell or maybe a troll attempt. But
Blue shell troll attempt. We did see Ryu over there, so anything's possible, really. It is super risky because the pack was tight. So if Ryu did go for the bill, it was a very risky play, but it looks like it might have paid off.
Perhaps
it looked like Ethereal was winning that race. I just thought of a bomb being pulled there. It's very deadly on second, obviously. That as well.
With that, not a lot of separation you can avoid the bombs there. So we have a 2-4-5-6. Could be an RBC pick coming out from KG, assuming they like that track. Considering 4-5 has chances of getting the drafts, but looks like we'll see what they're thinking about here. But Goldmine getting picked here from the majority of Ethereal. Looks like they're gonna opt for GV, so just kind of a reset track, kind of mixed spots anyway. So.
Yeah. GV, one of the more popular reset tracks for KG. Ethereal feels really good about their Goldmine skills, and it's going to be a bit of a wild card Schubert land from Mura. Again, another kind of reset track, bottom spot-ish. He's the only Daisy in the room, might give him an advantage.
Yeah, the first set is so important. There's so many item boxes too, to the point where you can get a 6th or 7th place box and perhaps get a golden, because not all the items are in play yet, so the shroom probabilities increase. But we see 2 people stopping for 7-8 boxes.
Mura overtaking first. Crash, one of those people who dropped, is going to chain these shrooms for some more shrooms.
Yeah, it looks like mixed spots early and often. So Ethereal holding out 3-4-5. So Crash is going to try to get a dodge in at least 7th place.
Agger's just entering the cave at 30 seconds. Looks like Ryu might be 10th just by a little bit, but anything can happen on this next straight between those two, with shrooms and bills falling off and all that.
This is not a good situation for Ethereal, well, at least to start, because they weren't 7-8, and KG was top 2. Top 2 7-8 on this track is pretty powerful, actually, because you're kind of holding down the dodges as well as the top 2 positions. But looks like Nocto was able to shroom his way up to 1st or 2nd, though, so cracking some sort of top spot up there. And then we
see a really spread out pack here. KG, most of the bottom spots, it looks like. I think Jeff is back there as well.
Yeah, maybe some bill.
KG.
Yeah, maybe some bill prevention. But we see Ryu still going backwards. Both of the baggers still going backwards, in fact. So there's a good chance KG might end up getting this shock. Oh, and the green off the wall.
Nice throw there by Nocto. It's going to be 2-3 for Ethereal.
That's a big green. This pal's going to be a little bit sketchy for the shortcut, but he does a really nice job of just making it over the gap. And Bobby
missing the bill, so we're looking like a KG shock again.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we'll see a cave chain, but we see 7-8 very far behind. Someone getting random green again there. So, but KG holding down 1-3
to protect, because it looks like their bottom spots really aren't going to be able to catch up.
If anything, they might get Ethereal after their last set, but good chance this might just be a hold. And Shock Red
comes in. See if Hal was able to pass him off this. I think he will.
Yeah, he definitely will.
KG.
A good safe call, and that's why you always hold red shells, you know? Right, you get a 25% chance of pulling a red in second, so it's actually one of the most common items you can get. And if you're able to hold red shells in case of blue shells for the blue combos, or shock reds, like we just saw there on the last straight, spamming your red shells isn't always a good idea, especially when they're just going to break on walls. So just noticing the situation, holding onto your red, gives them seconds to the third. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, KG did a good job there being patient, waiting for the right moment to strike, and they were able to get a great race out of it. Top 2 and 6-8. So holding down the lead, going into race 4. And Ryu getting his second shock of the war. So bagging battle's been pretty even for the most part. Bobby was able to get the best of him on BC3, and of course Maple Tree was just pretty much a coin flip. So pretty even back there so far. And KG able to capitalize on their shocks, though.
Yeah, from the looks of things, the BC3 shock didn't really help Ethereal much. So looks like KG is utilizing their shocks a little bit better to an extent, but I mean, shock is a big item, obviously, that can determine races, and I think that's why we see a 9-point separation right now.
Yeah. So with pretty much all the middle spots and drafting spots as well, Ethereal is going to be going with RBC. Pretty basic pick again with 3-4. Can easily get to the front with the draft and pretty good golden spot there too. So
Gold mine getting picked, and the draft is, if you can get the draft in fourth, it's very important because you definitely draft up the first and perhaps bump someone into the wall as well. So KG has to be a little bit careful, especially with Daisy being in first. But assuming a swerve is going to be happening here to prevent the draft. Yeah, to the right. As you can see, he's able to get the double mini turbo to keep himself being in first and giving himself a little bit of space. So good job.
Yeah, it's going to be important for Mur to keep some space here. It's pretty easy to get bumped off, especially with the speed disadvantage. And Jake able to team up, and top 2-4 for KG. So early lead here for them. Looks like last place is pretty far back, whoever that is.
Wanted to note something there that, you know, Murray's noticing that Crash is right behind him. I would just end up backing that show and not really communicating it because he's just clearly behind you and it's kind of a free back, but instead he gets bumped anyway, so it doesn't even matter. And KG's going to be top 2. And this track is a good runnable track out, actually, especially if you get shock, so you don't get TS.
Yeah, shock is really going to be play a pretty big role here.
And that POW is going to give them even a little bit more separation as well. And we see Mike getting in the fifth.
KG shock will pretty much just confirm that top 2, and Ethereal shock can easily TS them. So anything can happen here. It's going to depend on what these baggers.
Now, yeah, so we see Ryu 10th still, so there's a good chance KG's going to get the shock. And I mean, one thing to note is that this track, you could definitely troll people off on, especially and troll people into the mine carts as well. Just because there's no rails, and you can make a lot out of it, out of nothing. So, top 2 for KG still, though.
So, if it's not going to be a last-second shock, there will be time to troll, even if it's on just that last straight.
It looks like Bobby...
Top 3 pretty close. It can definitely shake things up.
You see a star in play. Maybe an Ethereal star just preventing the TS on 3rd and 4th, probably. So it looks like KG might use a shock late, but a big bomb snipe coming out for maybe Nocto or Jet.
Wow.
That's going to shake things up, and now KG's going to have to force to use this shock. But it doesn't look like anyone even dodged that. So Ethereal's going to take home a good race here. But unless Ryu...
Jeff might have gotten pushed into that banana, and Jake's passing him.
Yeah. So right there we see TNS coming into play, and Ryu is able to barely bump Jeff into the banana. And looks like Jeff gets 5th instead of 4th, most likely.
Yeah, it's going to look at 2-3-5 for Ethereal, which another really, really close race between the two. So this is going to be a pretty much dead heat going into GP2 here.
What a bomb snipe, though. I mean, especially if that bombed him off, but that really saved the race. And
it looks like Mike DC, so we're going to have to get a bit of point compensation for him there.
Right.
To take a look. So KG still a solid race with the 3v4.
I'm not sure if I don't think Jake got bomb sniped off, considering how fast he was able to catch back up. Unless maybe he did, and he ended up dodging the shock off of the respawn. But if so, I think that was the right call for KG anyway to try to salvage a spot or 2. And Ryu does a good job, obviously, of giving Jake that 4th.
Yeah.
But regardless, the bomb snipe was the bigger play. But a good race for Ethereal. They're able to stop the bleeding a smidge bit, and now it's kind of a tied game.
Yeah. While we wait for Mike to hop back in, I'll let you guys know that we'll probably be switching point of view sometime in the middle of this GP. We're watching Crash now as we have been, and we're going to probably be switching over to Hava's POV sometime during the next GP. So get a few different perspectives here today for this finals match. The winner of this, I believe, gets 200 CP. So compared to the splits, obviously not too much, but if you do really well in a lot of these tournaments, it can add up. So both these teams definitely want to get that advantage for the Invitational later this summer.
I think one thing to note so far is that Ryu getting 3 shocks to Bobby's 1, and we've seen Ryu troll a little bit too. I don't think we've seen Bobby really troll much. Especially, I mean, and Goldmine is a track where you can definitely troll too. And I've been able to see him try to shroom anyone off or whatnot. So he's kind of playing this more of a traditional suicide war. And I'm not sure if someone's barreling through the boxes in 10th and being like, okay, if I get Bill, it's whatever because I can maybe troll with it or just fall off with it. And I think we may be seeing that a little bit more because we're seeing the baggers just kind of zoom backwards.
Generally, we're going to see, for a bagger, the mindset is going to be first priority is always going to be shock. And if they can't get it out of the other guy and they can't pull it anymore, then that's when you go for the build trolls or the bumps and all that. And even with shock, I've seen a lot of baggers kind of just drive in front of the other team safely, obviously, and try to slow own or just bump, stuff like that. So there's a lot of options here for baggers, which is the whole point of this format, that a bagger who doesn't get shock isn't just useless in the race now. Not too much front presence, like heavily favoring one side or the other. We saw Murr run pretty much that whole race, and been doing a great job of having that front presence up there. Mike DCing was pretty unfortunate, but both these teams are doing a great job, I think, especially considering this isn't a format that gets played really a lot at all.
Yeah,
only been happening this past week or so for teams to warm up for this tournament.
That's interesting. That I think KG also likes Goldmine, and Murvito actually likes it because they pick it. It seems like a good amount. He started in first and stayed in first, and that's pretty impressive. He swerved and he got the double MT just to give himself a little bit of space without Crash copying that draft.
Mm-hmm.
That made a huge difference.
We saw these two teams match up in the semifinals during the MKPS spring split a few weeks ago, and it was pretty much these. I think it might have been these exact same lineups, maybe Faisal in for Hawk, I think, but between the Bobby and Ryu bagging battle, I'm pretty sure Bobby got the best of him during that best of 3. So seeing Ryu now winning the bagging is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think it was a 2-0, right? Was that semis?
I think it was
semis, right? I think it was a 2-0.
Well. Yeah, Ethereal sweep that. And Bobby outshocked him in both those matches, so bit more even now, maybe a little bit more going through each bagger's mind with this whole new format. So might have something to do with it here. Yeah, KG does have a pretty strong bench. They have Luke. I don't know if Russo is still signed up for them, nor does he really play that much, but they have Luke. I think they have Acme on the bench. So hopefully they can get someone in and keep and hold this lead, because they do have a 6-point lead going into race 5. So, and yeah, here it is.
There he is.
Should be getting going.
Let's get this going. Shortly.
Yeah,
it's a long ass timeout.
KG taking the tactical timeout with the 6-point lead.
Yeah, so I think Ethereal being 1-3, they picked Maple Treeway first. Could be seeing the Mountain pick here. The matches we've cast Ethereal with. So.
Yeah, we've already seen Goldmine come out from KG, which I think is another like 1-3 track that Ethereal likes. That's out of their arsenal now. And with Maple being played race 1, they're going right for the DDR.
Looks like they're going to opt for DDR, though. I mean, DDR is a great track for first, especially if you can do all the strats properly. It's a track you can break away on. Of course, the Ultra exists, but that's where you hope your mid-pack play comes into handy with bombs and triple shells. So
Ethereal getting the first track of the GP again with the 1-3. Trusting Jeff to hold that first place, maybe back for some shrooms in 5-7.
Yeah, I mean, Crash might go tight. And it looks like he will. He's going to snag that second place box.
And a huge hop right behind Jeff.
Ethereal. This is what you want for Ethereal here. The top 2, and then you're hoping that your bottom spots or maybe third place gets some sort of slagging items.
You see Nocto right behind them, and they're already building a bit of a lead. We see bottom 3, bottom 4 kind of falling behind.
Yeah, it looks like Hawk did his job there, and he separates the pack a little bit. Top 4 from bottom 4.
And you can see a lot of trust between this team. This team, Jeff backing in first with the top 3. A lot of takes some pretty good comps to get that done effectively. Should pay off for them as we see their top 3 just breaking away.
Yeah, he hits the nano that was placed from lap 1.
Yeah, right when I say that.
But Jake getting a TC, he's going to be able to fit him here maybe. Oh, he doesn't. And Jake
with this TC and KG's only top spot is going to be brutal.
You
No
do see
baggers around the
another
too.
funky behind him. It is Mike, fortunately for KG, but they're going to need some blue shells here. And up, right on cue. KG, they do pull a good amount of them, and they're pulling one here, so 1 minute into the race.
And Mike is looking to crack into this top 3.
Looks like Bobby's winning the backwards bagging right now. So that's good news for Ethereal. If they can shock maybe KG off the Ultra, unless they go into a star.
Looks like Bobby might have just gotten it there. We see him going forwards now.
Yeah, it looks like he juked out Ryu. Pack's getting a little bit closer though. Top
Ryu
5.
going back. Might go for a build troll here on this bridge. This is a super tight section of the track.
Oh,
and he used it way
just,
too early.
I don't know, man. You might have been
been
seeing something there, but regardless,
might have been
Crash
a bit
able
of
to
a
hold down this
misclick.
first.
Yeah, Crash is probably going to hold this first, especially with an Ethereal shock being held.
And considering he's not looking backwards, I think it's safe to say that Ethereal is also possibly top 2. So this is going to be a good race for Ethereal. Bomb coming out of nowhere.
Misses.
And it looks like
they're going to shock Hobble
combo
in the cut.
Oh, Murrah coming up though.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think Ethereal. I think Ethereal still got top 2 out of that, but it was really close on the line there.
Looks like they might have called out to try to protect that second. We did see Hobble taking cut pretty close behind Crash and Jeff, so see who was able to get the best of that. And we did also see Murrah coming up, so.
Yeah, Hobble got TS, but another person ended up dodging, so it'll be interesting to see if Jeff still kept the second or not.
And Hawk was able to come up as well,
Good,
so
okay.
yeah.
So top 2, good race for Ethereal.
And Hobble gets all the way sent to last with that shot.
Yeah. That's definitely a rough spot to get TS at, especially if other people end up dodging and you're stuck in the sand for a couple seconds at least, and you're just kind of dead from there. Especially if the target shock hits you right when you touch the sand. That's probably what ended up happening to Havo there.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the best spill attempt there, but you know, once again, Bobby just going for shock and really not trolling, and right there, it ended up paying off for them. They were able to get top 2, 6, 7. So
yeah, if Ryu's able to bill off Crash there, then that could be maybe a 2-3-4 for KG, depending on what Ethereal has to do with the shock. But
and honestly, I mean, if he gets built off there, they might call the shock there. Honestly, they just dodge him off of the respawn.
Yeah, that too. Because Hawk did have a dodge, so if he had it still, then might have been a good play.
Regardless, we got Peach guards coming in, reset track, and only a 3-point lead now. You see
with 2 bottom spots for Ethereal, this really isn't that too bad of a track for them. And as we see, Noctil's already in the front.
That could be triple streams as well, because Noctil touched the box in at least 4th or 5th, because we saw Murrah and Jake.
I might be a golden though. And Crash slamming into the hedge, going to give KG 2-3 here. But Jake already taken out.
Yeah, we'll end up seeing here, so.
Bobby getting first spots at 30.
Yeah, we saw 2 KG members go past the first set though, but looks like Crash is going to pull a lucky shroom in 3rd. And that's good for him because he's going to be able to take the shortcut, obviously. We'll see what Noctil does here in 1st, and he is going to go around. Maybe it was a goal.
Ryu's sitting at set, uses Bill, misses Crash, so Bobby, good chance to get shock here.
Yeah, I think the only real good Bill spot on this track is towards the end of the track where a little bit of the off-road section, you know, it's a little bit more slippery, harder to avoid things. Obviously right there is a little bit of lag, and Crash getting another shroom. This is going to be a top 2 for Ethereal most likely this race, especially since Ryu built early. He's not going to get a troll off on Noctil, and Bobby already a shot.
Yeah. So this race is looking really good for Ethereal. This is a huge breakaway. And Ryu just really going to go for trolls here. This is basically what the format is meant for. When Bobby's safe with shock, top 2 break here for Ethereal.
Either, and
that's
that's going to hurt a bit. So Ethereal, I mean, they could get a huge race. We're talking maybe top 3, top 4 potentially. Yeah. And there's the shock. They're going to dodge one there. Indicating that chain is probably...
Yeah, we'll see who gets able to pass Murrah here. And it's super tight between 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, it's... Well, if Murrah gets a build troll off of the slippery section, it's going to be huge, but...
Crash slamming into the hedge again, but he's still second. He did have that huge lead.
Playing some custom tracks, got a little bit confused where he's going, but... Ryu's gonna able to maybe try. Oh,
and
he
Ryu's able to
connects
get the
to
bill
that.
off.
Yeah.
So that
There's
hedge
the
hit
blue,
ends up being
though.
detrimental.
Okay, Murray doesn't get blued either, but wow, that's a big swing.
And that's part of the format. You got to be careful there. And using early shock. I think Bobby was in 9th after using it. So, or no, I think he might have been in 10th. But either way, Ryu was able to get enough bills to hit crash there at the very end.
Yeah, him running into the hedge really cost him because he lost a lot of time there. And then Ryu noticing that, okay, well, if I troll crash here, there's a good chance he's going to lose more spots than if I troll Nocto. And he
That's
went
still a
from
great
second
race for
to-
E.
It is. But the point swing does
Yeah.
matter still for KG. I mean, regardless, Ethereal, like you said, great race, but it could have been a lot better, obviously.
Yeah.
But now it looks like we should be switching to Havo's point of view.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get that up before race 7 starts. For the back half of this, where we'll watch Havo. And
I
Should
think
be
we're going to
coming in
see
in
a
moments.
little bit of a different game, different gameplay, I guess.
Yeah.
Crash is kind of holding down A for the majority of the wars he plays, and Havo's kind of more the communication leader and kind of Schlager at times, I'd say, but he's kind of a player that mid-packs a little bit more, so hopefully we can get Havo's stream up here.
yeah, see a little bit more pack action here from Havo's POV. It's kind of the role he plays, and yeah, here we are. So Ethereal taking the lead now, kind of distancing themselves from KG here halfway through.
Yeah, this is a good track, obviously, when you're 1-4 at least. I mean, it's more ideal when you have top 2-4, so you get 2 boxes in the draft, but 1-3-4, especially this late in the game, that's fine, especially with the Daisy being in second as well.
Yeah.
So,
Bobby getting the past 2 shocks after losing the bagging battle GP1.
looks like Ethereal's going to start top 1-3 from the looks of things. Remember, Vito always doing a good job avoiding things, like just not getting bumped and whatnot. But right on cue, Jeff makes a good play, and he's able to get him out of there. For
Jeff,
top
one of the
3
best
for
snipers in
Ethereal.
the game. We've seen him do it a few times already.
Yeah, that spot is really hard to avoid snipes. It's just because you come down off of one of the jumps or whatever.
Kind of a sketchy Shroomus here from Havo, but 1-3 still for Ethereal. And I think that's Murra and Jake behind them.
He's
So.
just able to avoid that green at the skin of his teeth. But he's able to at least hold down the second to crack into these spots. And if KG loses this race by a little bit, that's kind of considering a win, because this track is really hard to crack top spots on. But considering they're 2-4, they'll take it for now. Looks like a target pal coming into first. That's going to screw Nocta a little bit. And that red is not going to connect. He does a good job at least avoiding that. But he does
You
lose
see
a little bit of
Ryu
time.
leaving the first set, which could signify a KG shock.
Yeah, KG having the shock. Now, target shocking first is obviously very predictable. I'm not sure if they're going to do it or not, but we'll see coming up here. They
And
will.
they do.
And they got him. Oh, no, they
They
didn't.
missed.
I'm lying. They missed. But they do
KG
dodge.
coming up in the bill. Oh, it's Crash,
Oh, it's
actually.
Crash. Oh.
It's an Ethereal top 2. Crash able to
Yeah.
predict
Oh,
it.
but Jake
Throwing
says,
the
hold
blue.
the phone. Blue shell coming in hot.
Nocto using a star in second place. And second place with a mushroom here for Havo. Siki's able to get the best of Nocto up
Another
here.
cow. Nocto
Cow
able
is
to
gonna
avoid
force
it, but he
Nocto to go
can't
around.
pursue it. Looks like Habo's going to
See if
get
Ryu
first
wants to
out of
risk
this.
anything here.
Nah,
Havo's
Habo's
going
getting
to take first
game
place.
risk. Yep.
So, well-timed POW by KG, able to get Havo into first place.
And once again, KG kind of getting bailed out by a blue shell. I mean, that's the risk you take of target shocking first, and it's actually kind of a hard target shock on first too, especially with lag nowadays.
Yeah.
And Nocto kind of just lags over the first or the target shock range. Doesn't even get TS, crashes and dodging, but fortunately, Jake pulls like an insta blue shell in fourth at
Yeah.
chain. I mean
That's still a good
saved them
race.
the war
for
right
you.
there. That's a 1-3-6.
So,
But
pretty
very
much
fortunate.
even race. KG, after dodging Crash in the bill, are able to get just what they needed after the POW, triple shroom in fourth, and blue.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Ethereal, I guess you'll take it. I mean, considering KG had
Yeah,
everything go their way. In fact, they
exactly.
only won that race by, I think, around 3. I mean, granted, the blue shell, obviously, big point swing there, but sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Absolutely.
But
So with
regardless,
1-3 in bottom spots, we'll see what KG wants to pick here. DDR has already been chosen, which is usually a pretty common one here.
looks like, and this is kind of hard at this point in the war. A lot of good tracks have been picked, but KC coming out. I think KC is pretty good for first, actually, especially if you get a green shell. You know, if you get a green, you can get a break, and they're gonna get their pick.
You can definitely get a lead, and with that 6-8, you can try to bag for some shrooms and take the 3 cuts. So a lot of options here at the beginning of this track. Just depends on all in that first set, where there's a lot of items.
Now this track, billing-wise, it's kind of hard to build people on this track. You have long straightaways, such as the beginning, and the tunnel's a little bit laggy, and then obviously in the water stream, the bill actually sometimes is like Air Jordan, you know, and just doesn't even, it's not even on the ground. But
best bet for a bagger would probably be in the pipe section, but since it's pretty much all drivable, a runner can easily just kind of go up on the side if they want to risk that time loss.
Avo getting the green shell he needed, but Crash at least getting the gold for Ethereal's sake, and able to crack first earlier. And looks like both baggers are opting to stay at the boxes, so maybe dropping a star here, we could see that. And it looks like no star drop for anyone, and they're just going to keep touching boxes now.
Neither bagger going towards the waterfall section for the 10th place boxes, both risking them in 9th. Not that it's much of a risk, but
we see Ryu spinning out on the minimap. So
looks like Bobby's just spam starring him, and then Bobby hits a zapper. So Ethereal gonna hold its first place.
2-3 coming in for KG, and Crash breaking away a little bit more now. Does a good job.
Crash, after that POW, is able to get even more of a lead. Murr's coming up now. KG in a lot of top spots though, and one blue can give him a top 3.
Yeah, it looks like noting the baggers, Bobby just dropped the star for Crash, and Ryu's going forward with Shock. So, I mean, at least for Crash's sakes, he's going to be in first by a good amount here, doing the star cut, and then we'll see what KG does with the Shock. Or maybe didn't even drop a star, who even knows. But
and Bobby eating that red for Crash. And Bill coming in from Bobby, misses the troll.
Yeah, you know, that track, like I said, hard to build people on. So, let's see what KG ends up doing with this Shock here. Maybe last set. You would think that one of them at least has a dodge, and we'll see what ends up happening here as they have a 2-3. I'd say the water stream is an interesting spot. It's very unpredictable, but looks like they're not going to do it here. Then we see 7-8 very far behind as well.
Might see Havo shock himself into box, try to get either a shroom or a red to kill Crash.
Oh, there's a blue.
And there's a blue coming in.
Oh my, it's a Clown Fiesta. It's going for Mike.
He's able to dodge it.
No, he's not.
And he does not. So Hawk now in second. Havo up here. And it looks like it might be a shock in the box. Yeah, we see Havo slowing down. And if there's all top spots,
Crash, probably.
Red.
Oh.
Crash might have gotten in the boxes too. Pull the shroom. That's going to be a good race.
I'm actually surprised he broke that, but
wow.
Regardless,
Ethereal's able to get a great race out of that, considering the blue and shock in 9 for Ryu.
You know, there's something I want to point out there.
Of course.
You know, off the glimpse of my eye, I saw Hawk's funky cheer right when Mike got blued. I don't know if he threw that blue or not, but it looks like it may have worked out if he did, because I saw his funky cheer, I'm pretty sure. Might have to check the replays for that one. But
might have to get an instant replay. Any clippers
unless he hits someone else, but that gave him top 3, regardless of how it is. So
we did see Havo try to shock himself into last set and try to luck a shroom or something, but only a single red is not able to crack that at all. The top 3 for Ethereal is going to give him a commanding lead going into the last GP.
Yeah, and one thing to know is that shocking last set, it's a little bit of laggy, and maybe Crash ended up actually getting a box, despite how much it looked like he was past the boxes. But also another thing is, if you shock them after the boxes, sometimes you get them on the boost pad, so they have instant acceleration to the point where they actually may gain time if you don't pull a good item. Perhaps maybe trying to red them out of their top spots or getting shrooms. They're just a little bit more ahead because of the instant acceleration on the boost.
Yeah, 261 and 227. They are just piling it on these past few races. And that's the race exactly what they were looking for.
Yeah, and Crash having a ton of time to slow down, and makes me think that I don't even know where that blue was thrown, because he stopped for a good country mile. Regardless, works out in Ethereal's favor. They have a nice, comfortable lead now going into this last GP, and they won Spring Split, and it would be good for them if they could win this tournament as well. Just asserting their dominance a little bit here.
Adding on to that circuit point lead would be pretty big for Ethereal. They've already confirmed their spot in the Invitational, but of course they always want the extra CP just for the brand. And they're gonna go with DKM with a 135.
And KG's gonna need some big races here, and yeah, obviously, I mean, you know, weird KC race, but it looked like Ethereal was in the top spots going into lap 3. I think we saw KG 2-3 at least lap 1 and 2, but kind of dying a little bit early there. And looks like we're going to Goomba Circuit, aka Daisy Circuit. Shout outs to Goomba.
Daisy Circuit, a track you don't see picked really often at all, but it's pretty fun to play.
Yeah, you know, I think it's a track where you can get a lot of good spots if you're able to crack into the top spots and able to hold some dodges. So KG's just kind of rolling the dice at this point.
One of those tracks where it's impossible to fall off on, so if a bagger pulls a bill, it's really tough to catch back up at the 10. So we could be seeing some TNS rule set coming in here.
Yeah, Crash, just random, a nice bomb there. Don't know whose that was, but... And oh my god, there's just a ton of bombs everywhere now. And we see top 2 breaking away because of the bombs. And we saw Crash also.
Really intense by a little bit, gonna get a box at 30. Pavel holding this blue.
Yeah, and Crash first set ended up just stopping with triple greens, getting 2 KG members with green shells. But looks like KG being first, since Havo is holding this blue shell. Looks like they're 1-4-5, most likely.
You see Bobby seeing them, maybe waiting for a build troll, or waiting for Ryu to show up.
Just going backwards here. Looks like, I don't know.
Ryu's now sitting in the corner. Kind of weird, kind of tough to see.
Kind of weird, but looks like KG. No, KG doesn't have it. Okay, so Ethereal could have it, and there it is. Crash able to dodge in a star first set. We'll see how much that helps him. Hava pulling a mega after, but we'll see what else he can get. He's probably going to chain these. Let's see if he can get a golden here, most likely. He gets another mega. Not a good mega here, actually. And there's a blue shell coming in through 6, indicating that maybe KG is still first. You see Crash dying, I think, a little bit.
Talbot just running through this pack with that mega.
Oh, another blue. I think this could be 1-3-4 for KG, unless Ethereal got first. Couldn't tell.
A lot of middle spots for KG, so if they did get that first place, that's going to be a pretty big race for them, and pretty much what they need to catch up. A lot of craziness there on that last circle turn. So
yeah, and that's right.
And with Hava going through it all in the mega, he was able to gain like 4 or 5 spots.
Sometimes you just got to roll that dice, but we saw a ton of blues. We're seeing, I think, a good amount of blue shells either being pulled or thrown in this war.
And it was like the first, so that's a huge race for KG. Bottom 3 for Ethereal.
I don't know if... I don't think Crash even got blue. I think he may have gotten trolled out of a top spot where he dodged. He was a little bit far behind, but I'm pretty sure we saw a KG member get blue, especially since I think knocked through the blue from 6. But regardless, a good race for KG. They're able to get 1-3-4-5, and they're going to get perhaps a really good track pick here to capitalize on these spots. Yeah, pick some Moonview.
Ethereal's lead dwindling a little bit there, pretty much cutting it in half. And they're going with Moonview. Strong running track. GV with the reset for Ethereal.
Yeah, and Moonview's a good track, I think, for 1-3-4-5, actually, because you're able to kind of surround second in a way. You're able to trail in first, and you're able to maybe spam a red shell in third. So it's a good track for sure, and we're going to see if TNS will have an impact on this track as well, considering we have bomb cars and even just cars to an extent where you can get bumped into them. So,
I was going to get this draft off of Mike right away. And top 2 for KG.
Top 2 for KG, and this is always important. We see Hawk getting up there
Hawk breaking
early.
in. Fib kind of just dies out on someone. But Hava's holding on to that second place. Bagger's coming in, bumping. That is allowed, as you see Mike kind of dying from it.
Yeah, you kind of have to expect it, though. But regardless, he's got greens behind Hawk. Let's see what happens here. This is going to be kind of an interesting play, and Jake gets rid of Hava's banana, and Hawk is being super aggro right now, and he's going to get in the first most likely here.
Hawk's just trying to outline Hava the best he can. Crash able to shroom up 2. They're going to be a top 2 for Ethereal, so did a great job of breaking those top spots from KG. We see Ryu in 10th place here.
Yeah, I think Hava really wanted to back that fib on him, but instead, it's kind of a trade at this point.
Minimalizes that damage there as Mike is able to get back into second place. 1-3 for Ethereal.
Yeah, Hawk able to break away a little bit more, though. KG's going to need a blue shell at this point to get him out of first.
See, Ryu's still going backwards. Might be trying to avoid Bobby, unless Bobby might already have it. So we could see Ryu maybe go for a build troll here with Ethereal in first place.
Yeah, and we'll see what he ends up trying to do.
That's Ryu and Bill. So Bobby most likely has shock for Ethereal, and with top 2, it's probably not going to be until pretty late.
Oh, they said nope. We're using it now. Ethereal getting into top 3 now. Yeah, and I think it's safe, especially if no one's in dodges, and that's what Jeff just did. And yeah, this may be curtains here, as Hava pulling its EC. Not much he can do. He spams the blue, not going to matter. And
there's going to be a lot of top spots here.
So that is going to be a clean
for them. And Ethereal did a great job of breaking those top spots there at the beginning of lap 2. So Hava and Mike kind of just dying out, and the TC after the shock pretty much sealed the deal for them.
Yep, and that's just a good job by Ethereal. They're able to, like you said, get in those top spots. Nothing else really needs to be said. I mean, Shock comes in to help them get top 3, and we're just going to see some cars hit Hava for a bit.
And yeah, top 3-7 for Ethereal, and that is going to put a bit of a damper on the KG comeback.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously Shock's really important, and Ryu kept going for it, and then until lap 3, he makes an attempt with the bill. Doesn't connect, though, and at that point, Ethereal was just kind of breaking away, so KG most likely just kind of dying in mid-pack spots. So Ethereal's just able to take advantage of that in the beginning. Also, that red, I'm sorry, when Crash redded Hava out a second because he had a fib.
Yeah.
A little bit unfortunate, but
bit of a trade-off. But even though Crash died, it gave Hawk a huge lead in first, so it basically confirmed his first place, even when they got shot. So very, very nice job from Ethereal that race. And KG going for GV, so probably going to be seeing Ryu still bag here, and Ethereal going to KM getting their pick.
A 38-point lead. Is that right? 38 points?
Around there.
Quick maths. Okay.
Quick maths.
Okay. Quick an average of 19. So they're going to need Shock for sure on this track if they're going to get a big race.
Yeah.
But this is another track where trolling comes into play.
Long bridge here. Long and pretty unsafe bridge. But KG, a lot of bottom spots. And Jeff, you see trying to troll there before the stop trolling.
And honestly, if I'm Ryu and I got bottom spots right now, I might just be hanging out at the bridge and trying to shroom one of them off at least. Because this is a track where you can really easily shroom people off. All you have to really do is run into them on your screen and actually usually connects. And
usually you can, but Ryu is a French player, and he's playing against 4 Americans, so it's going to be a bit tough for him to bump, especially using Baby Luigi. So
no, he's playing against Ethereal. He's not.
Oh, excuse me, you're right. He's playing.
But regardless, I really
one American.
I really would think that Okay, Ryu's going forward, so that could mean a couple things. He might have shock. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Well, he has shock.
We'll see if he goes back for another.
Yeah, it looks like he will. So he's able to luckily pull the shock. Probably a 9th there, considering Bobby was still backward or in 10th, most likely. So it's gonna help KG a little bit, bring things closer, and it looks like they may be top 2 now, or at least second. Okay, I think they were only second, so I think Jeff's still maybe in first.
Yeah.
So.
KG
Oh, but Murabito getting hit, and that is not good. Mike using the build though, and Havo's gonna chuck it, and that's gonna hit Mike. Yep, and down goes Mike.
and
then he gets comboed. Oh my goodness, that is not good news. And I think at this point Ryu needs to go forward because Ethereal's top 2.
Havo a bit trigger happy, guys. He's not gonna pay the price.
And Ryu doesn't go forward, so they're not gonna get any possible troll attempts. Nope. And it looks like, oh, that's a big pow pull though. He might be able to get Jeff target powed here in one of these turns and maybe help Murr get first.
Yeah, we do see Murr up there, so if they're able to take out Jeff from first.
And it looks like Murr is, you got to be aggressive at this point, and yeah,
and he fell off.
Yeah.
And he went for it. He did have to be pretty aggressive there, so maybe he tried to go a little bit too quick and fell off. So KG, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, and that's just terrible communication. But I really think Havo should have known that I see Mike billing in front of me. I can't throw the blue because if I throw it, it's going to hit him right when it drops him out because he used to bill in 5th.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just, that's just a bad play all around from them. But I don't know. You're hoping that if you're KG, Mike doesn't have to use the blue because you want a blue Ethereal because you need all the spots you can get. So even if he holds the blue, they're probably only going to get 2-3 out of it, or Ethereal's going to at least get 2-3 out of it.
Yeah, but, and with that race, barring maybe a repick here, some star trolls that we're unaware of, we're going to see Ethereal take home this first tournament.
And I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I'm just going to say it. Like, I think Ethereal is just the better team. I mean, when you get a shock lap 2, and you also get the blue shell and blue yourselves. I mean, that kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You can't be letting the other team get that big of a race off of that. I think we're just seeing the better team today, especially at least.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. KG was, they were dealt the cards they needed. They just did not use them the way you'd expect. Usually, also, Havo kind of just spamming that blue. Usually you see them wait until maybe after cannon to throw it, but got a little bit trigger happy and got his own teammate with that.
Yeah, he certainly did. After. He certainly did let it fly. Looks like they're going for GB2.
69-point lead, Ethereal.
They just want to get this over with, it looks like at this point. Yeah. But Ethereal, once again, winning another tournament.
Yep.
They win the spring split, and now they win this one.
With the spring split win, and now this, they have won the first 2 MKPS events. So, showing their dominance early on in this MKPS gauntlet.
So far, only losing 1 match by a total of 6 points to Avail in the finals. And I mean, it's safe to say that this is the #1 team in the power rankings. So,
yep.
Be interesting to see what happens the next tournament. Obviously, Metro Wipeout not entering. Yeah. Maybe things could have been different. I mean, they may be the second best team to a lot of people's eyes. So
yeah, Metro Wipeout losing to Avail in the quarterfinals during the spring split, and then dropping out of this tournament about a day before it started. So we have yet to see them see how they stack up against Ethereal in a league match. So hopefully we do see that eventually, but so far we have not seen that. And a lot of people argue that Ethereal and MW are the 2 top teams. So it should be pretty exciting once they face off.
Looks like we see another spam the blue coming in. Hopefully that's not on KG this time, but regardless, this war's over. I think that was an Ethereal member getting glued regardless, but we see KG getting 7-8 anyway, and that's all she wrote. Looks like the stream may have been shut off as well. So
yeah. So hopefully we can get some results on that for a final score, but regardless, Ethereal will be winning this one pretty dominantly.
Yeah, and I think the bagging was actually pretty even, actually. I think both baggers played well, but I think KG just didn't live up to the name, and we see around 100-point loss due to it. But regardless, I mean, when you're playing a team like Ethereal, you got to be on your A game. You got to play pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
And we saw a couple slip ups from Crash, obviously, as well. But I think this just goes to show you that this is the number one team at the moment.
A win for Ethereal, the first seed, against KG, the third seed.
Yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I mean, that war was kind of straightforward. I think it was just business for Ethereal. So,
yeah.
Do you have anything else to talk about?
No. I mean, we see that was our first ever MKPS tournament. We're going to be seeing a few different rule sets being tested out. That one was TNS. Usually, I think for the splits, we're going to keep it like what we saw. But with the TNS format, we didn't see it shake up too much. We did see Ryu build Jeff off on race 1, which was a good indication of what this format can do and how it can affect the meta. But overall, and also on the gardens, but overall, pretty much plays like a Sui War, I'd say, up until lap 3. So, but Ethereal was able to counter it with just some pretty strong running and good communication. So,
I think both baggers definitely played it like a suicide match. We saw Ryu trolling a little bit more because I think he had to, because Ethereal was a little bit more top spots at times. But regardless, that's the final score.
Yeah, first GP, both teams played pretty similarly, but over time, Ethereal just got those top spots and were pretty dominant and built that lead from race 5. So the score of 404 to 328. Ethereal wins the MKPS Tournament 1 TNS. So I think that'll wrap it up. Anything else, Yoshter?
No.
All right. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be casting more tournaments, splits, all that kind of good stuff. Mogi FFAs, all that on this channel. So if you like watching, if you like what you see, don't forget to follow. And we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.
Peace.